Well, what we're doing today, it's 84 degrees right now, which is an upgrade. It's been a lot hotter than that, but today it's 84. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and what we're doing right now is we're heading in here. We've got to make just do some adjustments and things here around the farm. We're going to check on a couple of the food plots that we've already got turned. We're going to check on some areas that I haven't turned yet, and got some doves coming up out of the back of this food plot right now. But we're just going to be checking on different things. We've got to move a camera around. We're going to check on some stand locations. We're going to show everybody kind of why we set up, where we set up some of these stands, what the purpose of being where we are is. And just all in all stuff that we do every year to make sure that we're ready. If you got to be able to do it, you know, be willing to get out here right now when it's so hot and everything outside to get all this done to really, you know, feel like we're ready to go come season. So today's just another one of those maintenance days. We got a few hours after work, taking advantage of it. You see the deer, they get down, when they're down in here, they don't realize that you can see them. They think they're in stuff that's tall, you know, and they use these crossing roads. I don't make these for us to travel. I make those for the deer to travel, and they will travel them time and time again. I had some cheap batteries in here because at the time it was the only place that I could stop and get any that day, and so I got some to have some batteries in here. But they only last, you know, they don't last a quarter of the time that quality batteries do. You get a good name brand battery for these cell cameras and they'll last a lot longer than it will with an off-brand battery. It just does. I mean, it's proven itself to me many times over. We got that one set up now and it's ready. And what we're doing right here, this is one of the ways that I inventory bucks in the summertime. I've got a mineral site right here that is just absolutely annihilated. That's been here for several years now, and these deer come in and out of these draws and come down here and hit this mineral site before they go out into the field. And just behind it here will be a small food plot, maybe a quarter acre, a little bit less probably even than a quarter acre, just a small little food plot there. Most of the little plots that we do are just small plots. I don't do a lot of big food plots at all. As a matter of fact, you'll probably see it here in a little bit, but our largest food plot's probably only about an acre in size. But in the summertime, these mineral sites are a great way to have deer coming in daily, and they'll come in and they'll hit the minerals for a little bit, and you can kind of inventory the deer as far as what's coming in and out of there. It's not going to grow you a big deer or anything like that. There's a lot of great minerals on the market that you can use. I personally use Trophy Rock. It's what is in this site. I've got several different types out right now, but there's Trophy Rock in this site, and I've got some Deer 30 on another couple of sites, and they really like to come in here and get this stuff. There's something about these mineral sites that both a mother, when she is milking, has a baby, and bucks as they're growing their antlers, they tend to come here every day just about to one of the mineral sites that we have on this property. And this is a smaller property. It's a big property to us. We don't hunt big properties, but this property is just a little over 100 acres, and on this place we have 3 mineral sites. And that's about what I suggest, maybe 1 mineral site per 30 to 35 acres, just depending on how your property lays out. But those bucks will typically hit one of the sites just about every day of the week, and so it's a good way to keep up with inventory on them until they start shedding their velvet. And at that point, they kind of back off the mineral sites a little bit and disperse and start getting after acorns and persimmons and some of the other feeds available to them, and they seem to just back off of the salt. So I personally believe it has something to do with the heat. I think that they require a little bit more salt in the summertime as they're losing so much more through heat and sweat, just like we do. But whatever it is, a mineral site's a great way to have deer coming in on a pretty continuous basis in the hot weather, and you can kind of keep track of what's going on your property that way. And this setup that we're at right now is one of my very favorite bow stands that I hunt each year. And there's a reason it's set up the way that it is. I'm standing in what is usually a dry creek bed. Most of the time there's nothing in here, just a bunch of drainage rock. And behind me, or to my left here, we kind of go up a hill, we'll go up a ridge, and then right here we go up a ridge. And what happens is, all of these high points come down to this one flat that goes through here, down and follows this creek bed down to the bottom. And on this side of the hill, there's a lot of good timber in here, but there's a lot of oak trees mixed in. So during bow season, I usually find my bucks are in here gorging on the acorns, trying to get fattened up, coming ahead of the season. I get them on food plots some in the bow season, but to be honest, I usually have more luck hunting bucks eating on these acorn flats in the bow season, and then my food plots become a lot more important come gun season, in my case here. But these oak flats, when you have a good flat like this, that it's just full of acorns. I've got a few trees in here that I consider to be dominant trees, and they produce acorns every year and produce them well, and the deer know where those trees are at, and they come to them every year. And so I've got this stand set here, and when the deer funnel down through this flat, they are typically on this flatter side of the creek bed, and having that stand set up right there puts me in perfect position to be able to get a shot at them as they come down through this bottom. So very strategically placed on that stand there. There's stuff in behind it's very rocky terrain that is hard for the deer to travel through. And not that they're just guaranteed not to come behind me, but there's a very slim chance of them coming around behind me. They're almost all the time going to come down this flat and use this natural funnel way. So it's nothing man-made about this one. It's just a natural funnel way that comes through here that directs deer into one area and brings them down this flat as they go down into the fields in the evenings to feed more. Maybe they might feed at night down here in the fields a lot of times, and they will come through here feeding on acorns on their way down. Deer are naturally like the path of least resistance, just like we do. So they'll climb a hill, they'll go up and down, whatever they need to do. But if they've got a choice to come down a nice flat like this one and stay on the lower ground, especially it keeps them out of the wind a lot of times on a windy day, 9 times out of 10 they're going to choose these flats to travel down. And that's why in bow season I like to be set up about 30 or 40 yards off of the main center of the flat here, and it gives me a great position when it comes time for bow season. Well guys, I hope everything that we've talked about today has helped you a little bit as far as getting ready for the upcoming bow season. We're going to be actually doing a series over the next few weeks where we're going to be trying to put together some of these videos to help you guys get prepared as we come up on the bow season. We've only got about 3.5 weeks right now until the velvet hunt, and then of course at the end of September will be the start of regular bow season, and all that'll be here before we know it. So we're going to continue through the summer to do work and get everything ready so that come November we can kick back and relax and enjoy the hunt.